Hello class, this is Dr. Mike with a few minutes of Linux. It's got a special episode here. I want to introduce a couple of things you've either seen or are going to see more of during the Linux course. The first one is the pipe command. The pipe is a simple character right there, and using it allows you to take the output of one command and set it to another command as input. So, simple example here. I'm in sysadmin home here. We have, let's go to test. All right, we have some files here. Let's cat out red.txt. You should have already looked at the cat command. If not, it just dumps the file to your default output, which is, of course, a terminal. So here we see I have a listed file, red, ref, rot, and so on. So simple example of this is to take red.txt and pipe it to the sort command. And you can see it's sorted now. Of course, there's several options here. You can take that, actually pipe it again to another command. So and/or use sort, reverse. There's several ways to use the pipe command, and we're going to see that use a lot during the course. So again, the pipe command, very important. And the second aspect here I wanted to cover early that again is very important is, of course, permissions and ownership. So here is our home directory. When we do an ls-l, we see the set of characters here, which is the permissions. The first one there is actually an indicator if that is a directory or file. And here we have a set of permissions. I'm going to go over that in a second. Here is the owner of the file and the group. By default, every user in Linux has their own group, in this case sysadmin, and by default when sysadmin creates a file or directory, it's owned by them and it belongs to their group. Of course, we have size and we have date and time of access, and of course the desktop, in this case the directory name. Let's go back into our test directory. You can see we are in our test directory, and now you can see these are actual files. So again, that dash there indicates a file. You're going to see other things in the course. There's special characters like a C character device. There's an L for link. We'll get to those later. For now, that first indicator, that first flag is whether it's a file or directory. And these last string here is indicator of the access for the owner of the file, for the group, and for all others. So if you're, in this case, sysadmin, you have these permissions, which is read, write. If you're in the sysadmin group, you have read. And if you don't belong to either one of these, you are a part of the others. You are in this permission. I have here a quick description here I found some time ago teaching Linux here. User group others. This is called the file mode. This is the structure of the mode. Again, preceding this would be the dash or D for a directory and/or file. So very important to understand this. This is actually approached later in the course, but it's pretty important to learn this now. As you go through and work with Linux systems outside of this constrained classroom environment, it's important before I work with a text file, let's say I want to edit this file, is to verify my permissions. And what we have is read write, RW. Now if I was a different user, let's say I'm user Mike, and I'm neither part of sysadmin or I'm not sysadmin or part of the sysadmin group, I would only be able to read the file. So as soon as I try to edit it, I will not be able to save it. I have to save it as a different file. So it's good to understand who you are. So remember the who am I, who you are, and then of course that helps you understand the permissions you have to interact with this file. Again, later in this course, you're going to go over how to change this to permissions and ownership and group. These can be changed. But for now, read write are the first two flags, and the third flag is the execute flag, which we see here. This pertains for the use of scripted files or compiled bytecode or binaries. This again has to be set on for it to be executed. Now, of course, if I make this executable, it does not mean you can run adjectives.txt. It just means it does have execute permissions, and there's nothing in here that can actually execute. That's important for script files, possibly be the first thing you might interact with if you need to make an executable file. So again, permission strings: the owner, the group, and all others. So we're going to see this a lot in the course, and it's important to understand this concept. It's really one of the basics of getting around and working with files in Linux. And that's all I have. I hope this has been helpful. Have a good day.